Hello, kindergarten! This week we are back to working on our trees. So, before we go too far, let's look at some of our really good redwood tree examples from before the 4-day weekend. We've got 4 good redwood tree examples here. Very nice, friends. All right, before we begin, you're going to need paper, like your sketchbook, pencil and eraser, anything to color with, and this is new, you need your STEM journal now. I'm going to ask you guys to make sure you have your STEM journal. All right, our learning targets. I can identify shapes in nature to help me draw. I can identify the details of a willow tree. And I can begin to draw a willow tree. So what does a willow tree look like? Willow trees are those trees that have those long, droopy branches. They're usually near some water. And we are going to draw one of these today. I'll show you my picture again. And then we'll practice it, and I will let you, and you will work on your own. So this is a picture that's going to be kind of inspiring for what we did, and here's another picture that really is just the willow tree by itself. And don't forget, because we've been adding our little branch, we've been adding details, we're going to add this off to the side. So our task today, in our STEM journal, you're going to practice a small willow tree in your STEM journal. Then you can practice a big willow tree with the branch next to it, either in your sketchbook or on another piece of paper. And let's see what this will look like. All right, so now we have I have mine. And I wrote STEAM because I put art in mine. So you've got your STEM journal. And just find a new spot. It doesn't have to be a whole page. You can just put one in a small place. So what we wanted to write again was the word A, R, T. That's art. And then W, I, L, L, O, W, willow. And if you want to write tree, you are welcome to write T-R-E-E, tree. Now, a willow tree is going to be, once again, we've used this before. We seem to use a lot of this letter. It's the letter U. A willow tree is going to kind of start off like an upside down letter U. And then we're going to have another upside down letter U. And if you see at the end of this, I'm kind of making it a little droopy, but we'll talk more about that when we make the big picture. And I'm going to make some more lines that kind of curve down. And at the very bottom, we're going to put our tree. So that's just our example. That's our little willow tree. On another piece of paper in your sketchbook, we're going to draw the actual and big willow tree. So now that we're drawing the big willow tree, what's that shape we almost always start with? It's a rectangle. So we're going to draw like a skinny rectangle. It's not very tall. It's not as tall as the redwood, but it's not as wide as the oak. It's actually pretty skinny. Then we're going to draw the roots again at the bottom. And erase those little corners. Now, before we go too far, we're going to add that line for the back, for the ground, but we're going to add something new. We're going to make a line coming down here like this, because this is going to be land, and this is going to be a river. We're going to make our willow tree next to a river. What kind of lines am I adding to the river? Yeah, it's pretty wavy lines. It kind of makes it look like it's bubbling or it's moving like waves. So now that we have all this done, we're going to start up here with, we're going to go up to the top. And that's where we're going to make that big U again. Because a willow tree has a lot of droop. It droops down. You know what that word is? That's awesome. Droop. It's kind of fun to say. So we're going to start, we're going to draw one willow branch, and we're going to draw another smaller willow branch. Still looks like the letter U, just upside down. And we're going to erase that line in the back. And we're going to draw some more droopy lines. It kind of, and some people have told me this before, looks like we're drawing hair. It kind of does. I won't, it's okay. I won't laugh if you say that. And I'm going to draw a little bit, there we go. I'm going to draw one of these droopy lines coming over. And our droopy lines are going to come down, ta-da, kind of like this. Because a willow tree is a little hard to see. It's got a lot, it's a little hard to see part of the trunk. It's got all these big droopy branches coming off of it. Then over here on the side, I'm going to draw one line. And I'm going to hold this up so you can see better. I'm going to draw a shape. It's kind of an almond or an oval shape. It's really long. It comes down and it's got a point and a point. And then I'm going to make sure that each one of these comes off to the side. So our oak tree had really big tree branch or tree leaves. Our redwood tree has pretty small spiky leaves. But our willow tree kind of has a lot but small leaves. Now, when it comes to coloring, I'm going to pick a couple of different things. I'm going to use a dark green and a light green. Can you see that's actually dark and light? Then I'm going to do a dark blue, and I'm going to use a light blue. That's not very light. Let's go with that one. And then I'm going to pick a brown. And these are most of the colors I'm going to use because my dark blue, I'm going to use it to color my river. And I'm going to make my river lines dark blue, like that. I'm going to use my dark green to go over the ground, but not just the ground. We're also going to go over just some of the dark lines, some of those droopy lines that we drew. And it's okay if they come down into the river, because willows that are next to the river, they usually droop down into the water. So I'm drawing some of these tree branches that are going really far down to the ground. And then I'm going to take my brown. But I'm going to do something over here with my two different colors. I'm going to do a dark leaf, but then I'm also going to do a light leaf nearby. So I'm actually going to do, because willow trees kind of have both. They have dark leaves and light colored leaves. So I can also do some light tree branches, different. This is my light green color. And I'm just drawing these really droopy branches because when we look back at our tree, you're going to see that, let me pull that tree picture back up. Our trees, they really, those tree branches, they kind of droop down towards the ground. So, once again, you are working on your willow tree drawing. Once you're done drawing, you can color the whole thing. clearly once you do more than just this part. All right, so once you've gotten your willow picture done, take a picture of it and show me on Seesaw. Look forward to seeing them.